Welcome warmly, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you warmly at the international conference Microorganisms in the Restoration of the Environment. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the organizing committee, SCD Probiotics Kansas City, which is represented by the founder and the president of the company, Matthew Wood. And myself, Stanislaw Kolbusz, president of the Association Ecosystem Heritage of Nature. I would like to welcome all the representatives of important institutions, important from our local Polish point of view, and for the Healthy Globe initiative. I would like to welcome the representatives of Ministry of Agriculture, Agency for Agricultural Markets, Agricultural Social Insurance Institution, and many other entities which deal with the support and execution of agricultural development programs on a daily basis. Particularly important welcome words I would like to address to the main patron of this conference, Dr. Marek Sawicki, Minister of Agriculture. He will be here with us. However, it's gonna be today in the evening at the official banquet. Unfortunately, at the moment, his duties took him as far as to Sopot. On behalf of our scientific patron, Professor Wiesław Oleszek, who also cannot be here with us, there are two representatives, Professor Stanisław Krasowski and Mr. Mirosław Nieróbca. I would also like to welcome our partners co-organizing this conference with us. First of all, Wielkopolski Institute for the Quality, National Center for Agricultural Advisory, and most of all, I would like to greet the representatives of national microorganism centers. So please stand up. Let us see how many of you are represented here in this room. Please be seen by our international guests. This is more than a dozen of regional centers, so we are proud of you. These are our basic local centers cooperating with the National Microorganism Center and the boss of Probiotics Poland company, Ms. Magdalena Górska. And the international guests will be greeted by Matthew Woods. So the floor is yours.
Good morning. First, I just want to thank the organizers, our co-hosts, Probiotics Polska, all of their staff and team for doing so much work to put this together, and I'm sure as a result it's going to be a very successful event. So first of all, thank you very much to the Probiotics Polska team. Next, I'd also like to thank SCD Probiotics team and staff, both those who are here as well as those in Kansas City who have also worked so hard to put this together. So a round of applause for them. I want to thank the Ministry of Agriculture and the other governmental agencies who have supported this program. And I also would like to recognize the many people who have traveled from all over the world. We have 19 countries represented here this weekend from 6 continents. And those of you who are SCD licensees or part of a company that's an SCD licensee, if you could please stand up and be recognized. So, and then finally, I want to thank all of the Polish participants who have come here and are participating this weekend. Thank you as well for attending. And finally, I'd like to thank all of the people who have prepared presentations. I think we're going to see a spectacular number and quality of presentations over the next 2 days. I think there's 32 or 33 presentations, again, from a number of countries across a range of technology applications. Thank you.
Matthew, please open the ceremony. This is, as you are the main initiator of this conference and the host, you are entitled to open the conference officially. I can see that Matthew did not connect to that interpretation. So let me open this conference, and I hereby announce it opened. And I would like to invite the 2 moderators to start their job, and these are Dr. Zbigniew Stępień and Dr. Jacek Wereszczaka.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have very tight agenda, so I would like to ask all the speakers, all the presenters today, who will present the results of their work, to stick to the schedule, please. This is only 15 minutes. I realize this might not be enough time to present all the limitations and the advantages of your products, but after the 13th minute has passed, we will ring the bell, and this bell means your time is running up. So please stick to the time frames. Time discipline will allow us to implement the agenda, which is in front of you in your conference handouts. To begin with, I would like to ask Mr. Stanislaw Kolbusz to give his presentation, his introducing presentation. Thank you very much. I could say welcome again. Ladies and gentlemen, our situation today is that what affects us is still surprising and still unknown. We might say that every day we experience the lack of a guidebook how to deal with the situations which seem to be overwhelming to us. Every day we see more sick animals, more sick people, civilizational disease, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. Professor Andrzej Górski, who was the deputy president of the Polish Academy of Science and the director of Medical Academy in Warsaw, and the head of Immunology Institute in Wrocław, said the following: when antibiotics were discovered, the humanity thought that contagious disease problems will cease to exist. He, as a professor of medicine, said that was a huge mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have the courage to seek for answers? Where does progress end and where it becomes a trap. What we all did in good faith, what the science has been doing so far, is leading the humanity to the edge. A growing number of difficult situations, the fact that we have 7 or 9 children per 10 who have allergy, 27% of women in Poland have a problem with reproduction, 1% of oceans are dead every year, and we could all see this as a punishment from God. But this is not an act of God. This is a consequence of the progress. And this progress has been going on with disrespect for nature. We were even hostile against the nature. And the civilizational progress should go into another direction. So, what's the advice from the ancient sense of agriculture? Some renowned minds, as Professor Mieczysław Górny or Professor Pierre Delbet, said that no part of human activity, even medicine, has such a huge impact on human life as agriculture. They were developing what Hippocrates said. He was calling for our food to become really a nutrient, and for food to become medicine. And our today's conference, Microorganism in Restoration of Environment, should provide many answers. But I think the main question that we should ask today, and the question which is asked by the people who learn about probiotic technology, is the question why, and what actually is probiotechnology. What's the role of probiotic technology in healing the world? And what should we do with microorganisms? Should we try to be biocidally competitive, or should we be cooperative? And the most important question today, can we improve the quality without increasing cost? Probiotic technology is the technology which comes in the right time. Probiotics are live cultures of microorganisms, but those are beneficial microorganisms which we can use to cooperate to bring back the harmony in the food chain. So, what was that development of life in history? About 4.5 billion years ago, microorganisms appeared and started to colonize the globe. And about 4.5 billion years, this is the time when they found many solutions, many experience, many natural tools, enzymes, which allowed them to prepare conditions for the life of plants, animals, and people. Very often we tend to forget that microorganisms are single-cellular organisms which live for several minutes. Very rarely they live for several hours. And those creatures are able to be faster than human thought, because the history of the antibiotics is a proof of that. Animals, plants, and people are a platform for development and proliferation of microorganisms. This always does us good, because we live. and sometimes it's not beneficial to us. But generally, this is a consequence of our own mistakes. So, what was the development of the variety of life forms? Single-cell organisms, their strategy was mainly a symbiosis, cooperation, and amazing skills. They can count their numbers, they have the survival forms, and another form is plants. The plants formed tissues, and they formed systems, and they are able to live much longer, several years or even several thousand years. And the top of the evolution of life forms are mammals, including people. We have the fetal life. And it turns out that in our subconsciousness, it all worked that way that we really separate the world of animals from the world of plants. We think there is a lot of time gap between us, but animals and plants are very similar because the soil for plants is just like the womb for animals. The plants are still in the fetal period of development. Just take a look, please. This is the connection between the plant and its mother Earth. And the health of a fetus is conditioned by the health of the mother's organism. So how does it work that across the globe we can never find an institute for soil nutrition? If we are dealing with plant nutrition, then we should verify if it is right to treat the mother if the baby is sick. So, how does it work in the placenta where the animal is placed in the soil? At the beginning it works as placenta, and then the soil works like a fodder for animals which chew the cud. And plants formed fantastic solutions. They are not defenseless. They are stationary, but they are able to attract bees. And also, they have excretion from the root system, which attract insects. So, look at the structures. This is mostly bacteria. And then moving from the root system, moving away from the root system, we get more and more fungal organisms. And this is really interesting. The world of science recognized the mycorrhiza's process, but for the life of plants, the most important thing is the neighborhood of bacteria. So why did we not recognize the bacterial processes? Our approach to environment preservation is changing. This is a wonderful sign of spiritual and mental revolution, because environment-friendly agriculture is a sign of our moral and spiritual crisis, because it means we did something wrong in the past. So let's see, where are we going and what are the legislative solutions? The Code of Good Agricultural Practice, the Framework Convention of the United Nations, the Soil Directive, which we are all expecting. All the legislation is heading in the right direction, in the direction where we will respect the rights of nature. The need for change shows us that biotechnology will be omnipresent, because this will be a part of all those solutions and all those changes when we introduce those directives. So why ProBioEMI? Why probiotechnology? Firstly, because biotechnology was pointing in the wrong direction, because the very word biotechnology meant good scientific solutions and meaningful solutions, but now we are fearing where are we moving with the biotechnology. And probiotic technology and ProbioEMI in Poland, what we are going to do, we are going to support biodiversity, because biotechnology, which is the loudest one, it rather reduces biodiversity, not increasing it. And ProbioEMs are a guarantee to bring back the harmony to the food chain, but a revolutionary event is that ProbioEMs do not require a waiting period, because they are produced in a special fermentation process, which we all know, I hope. Those are mainly naturally aggregated consortia of beneficial microorganisms with natural biocomponents with SCD technology. And what's important in the pathogenic microflora environment, ProbioEMs are, if they are properly applied, they are able to reverse the pathogenic process. ProbioEMs were identified in Poland by the president of the Agricultural Social Insurance Fund for increasing the safety of work in agriculture. And this fund in Poland is paying lots and lots of health benefits to farmers, especially because of chemical poisonings. So, probiotic technology institutes the health of the soil. A healthy soil, especially in the arable part, is very important, because we have 15 to 20 tons of microorganisms per hectare of land. Those organisms are invisible, but those are tons and tons of protein. But generally, it is thought that 1 ton is dominating in the soil, but those are just spiders, beetles, and soil worms. 1% of the humus can store up to 150 tons of water per hectare. So, to support the natural agricultural techniques is also the climate analysis, because we all know that something wrong is going on with the climate. Climate experts claim that if we have a good culture of the soil is able to store 3 to 6 times more carbon dioxide, even more than forests or meadows. And to finish with, I wanted to remind you what Zofia Solarzowa said. And today we can say that she was really right many years ago. They say that the industry processes, business people exchange, artists make things beautiful, but the farmers who sow and then harvest the crops create like thinkers. And this is the great title for their glory. Thank you very much for listening to my introduction. Have a very creative meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a good example of being careful with time. Organizers provided for discussion. However, the discussion will be at the summary of the day at the end of the agenda. So all the questions, comments should be noted down, and we will refer back to them, addressing them directly to the speakers at the end of the day.